Sai Ram. The Adi people, the tribes which are called as Adi, are among the oldest tribes in India, found in the northeastern part, especially in the state called Arunachal Pradesh. These tribes are said to have emerged at the foothills of the Himalayas and are more than 1,000 years old. If you notice my choice of words, said to be, that is because this Adi language that the Adi people speak is only oral in tradition. It has no written script. In fact, it is sometime in the 20th century that the first Adi books appeared on scene, because this language was then written using the scripts of other languages. For instance, the Roman script which is used for writing English. That is why I was so amazed to find out that there are actually Adi books in this language Adi on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our dear Swami. Some of you might not be as amazed as me, because naturally when the avatar, the Lord of Lords, descends in a human frame to planet Earth, it is but natural that people of all tribes, people of all communities, people of all cultures, people of all countries get attracted to him. But then, as I share with you how these books on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in the Adi language came into being, I am sure your ears will be thrilled, your hearts will be filled, and your eyes too, with tears of gratitude, joy, and celebration. This story of the books on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba written in the Adi language have appeared in 2 issues of the Sanathana Sarathi, the June 1970 issue and the November 1971 issue to be precise. This story also appears in the 3rd part of Swami's biography written by Professor Narayan Kasturi, which is Satyam Shivam Sundaram. This is the life story of Mr. Laksh Kumar, a divisional inspector of schools in the Tirap district of what was then called the Northeastern Frontier Agency, NEFA. Today, that region is called the state of Arunachal Pradesh in India. He was located in the town called Khonsa, a mountainous town beautiful in the lap of nature. This story is set in 1969. Mr. Laksh Kumar was a young father who could best be described as an intellectual and an academician. He was deeply interested in the philosophy part of religion, though the ritual part and the activities part of religion did not interest him at all. He studied all the Eastern and Western philosophies and religions, and he considered himself as quite an expert on these. And when would he study all of these? In the middle of the night. He had this odd habit wherein he would go to bed early but get up in the middle of the night and spend 2 hours in his study or dining hall reading all these philosophies and different books from his own library. And then around 2:30 a.m. he would go back to bed again. He received a lot of books in his mail, mainly because people were trying to impress him and see if books could be introduced into the school curricula. After all, he was the divisional inspector for schools, right? So what Mr. Laksh Kumar would do with the books that he had received was he would store some of them in his library, he would send across some to different schools, he would send some to the libraries, but most of the books which he considered useless, he would just discard and dump them. In the September of 1969, he received from the postman a parcel of 3 books. And when he opened and saw these books, he saw the picture on it which reminded him of a figure that he had seen in the Illustrated Weekly of India. There had been an article on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba written by Dr. Sundar Rao, one of the earliest wardens of the Brindavan campus of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. When he saw this article, he was absolutely repelled by it. He did not want to associate himself in any way with this Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and he had put away this Illustrated Weekly of India. So when he received 3 books, one, the Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Baba's biography part 1. The other, a discourse that Swami had delivered to the students of the freshly started university, 1969. The third book was a book of quotes by the same Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. The minute he saw them only, he decided that he did not want to read them. But somehow, he didn't get the heart to throw them away. So he put them in one corner bookshelf in his library and just forgot about these 3 books. He went on with life. At this particular point in time, he was obsessed with Panini's Sanskrit grammar. Panini is considered as one of the greatest contributors to the concept of language itself. He has written the Ashtadhyayi, the 8-chapter book with all the rules of Sanskrit grammar, which shows why Sanskrit is the most perfect language. Swami would often joke, CUT is cut but PUT is put. Why? Because the English language is strange. Yes, the English language is possibly among the strangest, but all languages have their strange quirks except Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a perfect language. It is perfect for adaptation even into machine language and even into computers. That's why. And Panini is the one who has codified all of these. And at that point in time, Mr. Laksh Kumar was obsessed with Panini's Ashtadhyayi. He was studying them in great depth every night. One night, as he pored over Panini's book, he felt a bit confused, he felt a little overwhelmed, and he felt he needed a breath of fresh air. And so, he walked out of the house into this beautiful town of Khonsa. The nighttime walk, breathing in the fresh air, the whole town was asleep, just a few flickering lights in the distance. And it was a refreshing walk, after which he decided to get back home and go to the dining hall and continue his study of Panini grammar. But when he went there, he saw there, sitting on the chair beside his chair, was this luminous being. The curly hair felt very familiar, and the luminous face made him wonder, hey, is this Sathya Sai Baba? But how can Sathya Sai Baba be here? Somebody who looks like him possibly. But the strange thing, as Mr. Laksh Kumar records in the Sanathana Sarathi, is the fact that he did not feel any surprise, any shock, any kind of negative feeling that one might usually get when you see a stranger in your home. The thoughts will come, right? Hey, who are you? What are you doing here? Why did you get in here? Are you a thief? Have you come to rob? None of these thoughts came. Instead, he felt great pleasure. A happiness seemed to envelop him and a great peace descended on him. And then that person said, do not be afraid. I am always with you. He is processing this. And before he can complete processing it, Swami tells him again, repeats the same thing. Do not be afraid. I am always with you. Okay, fine, but who are you? This is what Mr. Laksh wants to ask. But before he can open his mouth, Swami tells him, I sent you 3 books. He replies, yes, I received 3 books. But before he can say that, Swami tells him, read them. But I feel they are trash. They are not worth my time. Swami smiles at him and says, still, there might be something worthwhile in them. Do read them. And then flashes the most beautiful smile that melts the heart, melts the being of Mr. Laksh Kumar completely. Now he is convinced that this is Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. How he has come to the town of Khonsa in the Northeast Frontier Agency, he has not the slightest clue. He goes to the library, gets the 3 books and comes to the dining hall to see that Swami is no longer there. Nothing. It's just an empty chair which is there. Anytime I see an empty chair, I always think Swami is sitting there. And this has been proven to me multiple times, like it happened during my travels to Canada. That beautiful experience which brought tears of joy in my eyes, I have recorded at this link above. Anyway, since he has promised to Swami that he will read, he decides to start reading these books. And as he reads, the Sai Bhagavata, the biography of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Satyam Shivam Sundaram, as he reads his discourses, as he reads his quotes, he starts getting academic and intellectual joy at first, which then becomes a supreme peace and joy in his heart. He feels that for the first time in his life, he is able to experience philosophy. This is so rich, so full of essence, and he is able to perceive it, feel it in his heart. He is feeling so much joy that it becomes an addiction. Every night, along with the studies of his Panini grammar, he is reading the books on Swami. He is relishing it. He is enjoying it from the bottom of his heart. This is how the next 10 days pass, and in 10 days, he has completed his reading. The 10th night, again, he is back to his Panini grammar, and again he seems to be stuck on some phrase. So he sits back, leaning on the chair, closes his eyes, and is contemplating deeply. When he hears a very sweet voice, "You have read the books." He opens his eyes. Swami is seated there again. And that voice is so melodious, so beautiful, so soothing, so calming. Swami continues to tell him, "You liked them. If you read them, you will like them." He just says, "Yes, there are some things which are very interesting and insightful in those books. I enjoyed them." Now Swami flashes that disarming smile that melts the hardest of hearts. And Swami says, "I knew you would like them. Now translate them." And as Swami says this, he's wondering, translate them? Before he can ask Swami into which language, Swami starts fading away and disappears. Again, he is left by himself in the solitude of that beautiful night. And somehow in his heart, the answer emerges, Adi. Translate them into Adi. But Adi books, very few exist because there is no script for the Adi language. He decides to write it in the Roman script. But then, since Adi is an oral language, it is very difficult to have words and terms that express all these esoteric ideas and concepts that are there in spirituality, that are there in Swami's works. How do you translate Chittakasha, Chidakasha, Bhutakasha, Satchit, Ananda? How do you translate Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, all of these into a language that doesn't have a script, that is a tribal language? But Swami has told him, and he has to begin. And he begins. He starts making efforts. He starts translating it. Every night he sits additional hours now, because this is not an easy task. It is very difficult and sometimes gets very frustrating. He just doesn't know how to express those beautiful terms, words, and that beautiful experience that he is having when he reads into this Adi language. Dear brothers and sisters, reading Swami's books is a very, very unique experience. It just does not strike intellectually alone. It goes and touches in a very personal way in the deepest recesses of the heart. So do read Sai literature. And if you want to ask me which is the best book on Swami, here is an elaborate video on the best book about Sathya Sai Baba. And thus 2 weeks pass with Mr. Laksh Kumar translating Swami's books into the Adi language. And yet another night, when he's stuck on a phrase and he's unable to translate, he's again buried his head into his hands on the desk and he's sitting. He hears the voice again. "You are now translating." He opens his eyes. Again, the beautiful form of Swami. Now he is in all humility, and now he folds his hand because he can perceive the divinity now. And he says, "I'm unable to do it. I'm trying to do it, but I'm unable to do it. I don't think I can do it." Swami smiles and says, "You can do it, and you are already doing it. Remember, anything that is worthwhile will always be difficult. The more difficult it is, the more worthwhile it is. Continue with your endeavor. Don't give up. Don't give up for the lack of just a few words. And again, before his very eyes, Swami begins to fade away. But the inspiration in his heart has not faded. It has solidified and it has become great determination. And that is how the first books on Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in the Adi language came into being by the instrument called Mr. Laksh Kumar through the divine hand and divine intervention. I do not know for sure that Mr. Laksh Kumar traveled to Puttaparthi or Whitefield. I don't know about it. But this much is sure that Swami had traveled to Mr. Laksh Kumar. Just as Swami had traveled in the most beautiful manner to Bahrain. Yes, that story is at this link above. That is another mind-blowing story, especially because it happened for a non-devotee. We think that devotees, we are devotees and we need to experience Swami. Non-devotees will not get an experience of Swami. But who are we to decide who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee? Swami knows. Swami travels. He travels everywhere in the world. He has traveled to Ghana in order to bless Mr. Kofi Oduru, actually his son. That has been captured beautifully at this link above. You can have a look at it. And here, Swami travelled to Mr. Laksh Kumar in the Northeast Frontier Agency. Swami is always with us. We might not be able to see him like the air, but he is there. He is always there. He is omnipresent. And when necessary, he will concretize and manifest himself before us. Dear brothers and sisters, let us hold on to this faith. Let us read Swami's literature. Let us immerse ourselves in Swami's stories and Swami's glories. Let our lives become a breath of the Lord. Let our bodies and minds become instruments of the Lord. And dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.